In a row, I forgot to play. Why is that? You know what? I could double back and play it because I always ask you, are you ready? But it just never seems to be that you are. I'm going to run the intro real quick and let that play. Oh, you know what? I can't because it still has our last guest on there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Just Say Fuck It. Hello.
I'm always ready.
I'm your host, BLK Pepper Potts. This is S1E26. There's a guy to my left that says he's ready, but somehow I'm introing the show.
Sometimes you gotta let Scottie Pippen take a shot. You know what I mean?
Like every episode. All right, so yes, welcome to
My show.
E20. Oh, of course, the one time I don't change my shoes. Y'all can see my shoes on IG. What's going on, IG? Trying to make sure I get both going on at the same time around here. I guess I'll tag you in it. See what I'm saying? By you think you be ready, but you don't. That's not really what happens. Matter of fact, no, I'm not about to share this and tag you because you're in Facebook jail again. And whenever that happens, like my video streams go down. So nah, I ain't tagging you.
So you gotta be insane. People come to see me anyway. It don't matter.
I'm not gonna tag you.
Again, for everyone, they know who show it is. They know where to come.
Well, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, it actually says the name of the show. It's Just Say Fuck It. Hi, everyone. The Instagram that just showed up. BTS Cleveland. Y'all put out an amazing event this past Saturday with Jordan Burroughs and Lee Kemp. You had some world championship wrestlers and also Jordan Burroughs. He got that Olympic gold. That was amazing event. So hello again to BTS. I can't wait to get the rest of those pictures posted. Yeah. So you sure you're ready?
This is the Maserati show, and I would like to welcome everybody to my wonderful show once again. And as always, as every single week, I am here. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I'm gonna start coming in like Mr. Rogers. I'm gonna have you like a little house coat over there. Just go over there, take off my regular shirt, put on my little house coat, sit down, sit a spell with you folks a little bit, talk to y'all about how my thing's been going with my day and shit. Some of y'all really want to know how my days go.
Oh, you gonna do another pre-show live like I've been doing? Is that what you're saying, or you gonna do a different thing altogether?
Just put on to my show. Just add it on to my show.
Just
add it on to my show.
You haven't figured out the logistics.
We can just roll the credits at the end and then just go boom right into my little vlog of the things I go throughout my day. You're gonna see the TV shows that I watch, how long I lay in bed. Sometimes you can figure out how many times I shake when I go to pee.
Wow, I don't think anybody wants all that.
Sometimes you need to know, because sometimes you think as a grown man we don't have these discussions. So you may think 3 or 4 times is ample time, and then somebody come along and be like, "Hey man, you need to give it at least 7 or 8 shakes." You be like, "I didn't know I wasn't shaking."
Hey, guess what? There's this thing called toilet paper. How many shakes do you need when you can just dab? I don't.
It's still pee inside the shaft, though.
Understood, man. But wouldn't toilet paper just be easier than just standing there? See, that's how you.
Because you have to get it. You still got to get it out of the tubing.
The tubing.
Yeah, it's still pee inside there if you don't shake it out.
I don't think it's called the tubing.
If it's coming out, yeah, the tissue go catch it. But if it's still in there,
well, why don't you like hold the tissue over and then shake?
So just hold the tissue and then.
Yeah, so the pee doesn't go everywhere because y'all just be shaking and then the little drops, even the ones you can't even see, they're there.
That don't happen.
Bullshit. That happens with every guy. Y'all just either in denial or not aware.
That shit don't happen.
Yeah, I promise you.
It don't happen with every guy. You can't speak for it. You can speak for every guy.
So you just got perfect aim. It's just straight into the toilet.
I mean,
you hesitated.
I mean, I'm not saying that. It don't.
It don't splash. Exactly. So
have a little splash.
So my solution to that is put some tissue over it. See, that's because men have taught men how to use the bathroom.
Wait.
See, if you put women,
how's tissue paper on my dick go help?
It not splash. So while you standing there shaking, it's just the tissue.
I'm talking about when you pee. When you pee, is hit the water.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I mean,
you can't stop that.
It depends on how far away you are from the water.
It's gonna be some splash in the water. Unless you're a fucking toddler and you right there at the goddamn water.
That's
trust me,
not what
it's
I
gonna be some
meant.
splash.
That's absolutely not what I meant.
Shit. You can do your booty right there by the goddamn water. It could be this little pebble of turd hit that water. It's gonna be a little bit of splash up.
I'm just, you know.
Trust me, I know. I've
I
had plenty of times.
I know some classes are closer to the water than others. How did we get here?
Well, because I be trying to help people out with my daily struggles. And the things that I go through in my day, just so people understand, you know, because us as men, we need to have these conversations because sometimes you don't know. Sometimes, I bet you right now, somebody's watching this, they was like, I never thought to put tissue over my
dick to
catch the. I don't matter whose idea it is.
Yes, it does.
Why?
Because you was definitely on your way to take credit for it. That was my idea.
It's my show. What difference do it make?
That says just say fuck it. And that says BLK Paper Pots. And that says talk your shit pots. That was my idea.
My show.
No, you're not going to.
And why does it make a difference?
Don't matter. Because guess what? That was live on camera. It's being recorded. Everyone will know whose idea.
It's still my show. I don't give a damn who said it. It could be the guest on the show. If it's my show, goddamn it, it's my idea.
No.
If you work for Microsoft,
that's not how that works.
If you work for Apple and you say, look, I made this app, and they will be like, well, you're still under contract with Apple, so technically it's Apple's app. Thank you very much.
No, that's not how this works.
It works exactly like that.
No, I promise that's not how that.
It does. Trust me. But anyway, like I said, trust me, somebody watching this and they was probably thinking like, I never thought to put tissue on.
Right, Ricky has such a good idea.
That.
Shout out to BLK Pepper Pots. All right, so
it's probably like, I'm glad that she's on the Maserati show. She's such a helpful helper.
What topics do we have today?
Santa Claus
this
is nothing
is like
about
the
eggs.
first time I've worn pants in a long time on the show. I feel so free because usually I gotta do all this and make sure my skirt are just all pulled out. I'm just like.
Yeah, are you doing like a tribute to Aaliyah? Is it her birthday or
That's
something?
what I felt like when I put. Wait, she did pass in August, didn't she?
I don't know.
I think. Oh, my phone is up for the IG live. I think it was in August. It might be today, and I didn't realize it until I put this on my head, and it's really just because my wig isn't glued down. No, actually, I don't know. Are they okay? I don't care. I've had some bad hair experiences. Am I glued down? So yeah, that's actually why I did it.
I don't know why females ask straight men about.
Do you see? Like, do it look like I have a scalp lifted on my head or not? That was a complicated question. Y'all know what a lace front look like when it's lifted. It looked like your scalp is lifted, and I don't know what happened, but I like the look though. I'm not mad.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, when we look at something, we can be like, "Oh yeah, she has whatever going on," but it's not no shit. We're gonna be like, "Oh, that's not supposed to happen."
So is my lace front lifted or not? Do it look like it's connected to my hair?
It looked like it's on there, I guess.
Okay,
like
then we good. So, but I still like that.
It's covered up, so what difference would it
make?
Well,
also, this was coming over from my TikTok live because you know I do more than one live than like this show. And so I just tossed this one.
Yeah, we appreciate you stopping your live to come onto the Maserati show and share your experiences with us, the Maserati fans, the Maserati X. All
right, what topics do we have today?
The Masermaniacs.
What topics do we have today?
We're gonna talk about Herb Gotti being on Drink Champs.
I'm such a light-skinned Negro right now.
We're gonna talk about Angela Yee leaving Breakfast Club.
But she's set herself up well to do.
What else? What else can we talk about today?
I don't know. I think I've been saying we need to just come up with our own topics. Like we can do hot topics to start the show, but we need our own like discussion or something to talk about.
I think we could talk about. We got an upcoming. Well, that show will be live on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday will be live. We're doing. I forgot that we didn't talk about it because I talked about it on my live on the way over here. I actually did 2 lives before. So this Sunday at 2:30. We are doing a live with Fuck Your Couch, actually. The host of that show is Burner and Beck. I'm not exactly sure how long they've been going, but yeah, we'll be doing a live multi-stream. I'm trying to get it set up so it'll stream out to their page also. Have you ever watched their show?
Probably. I watch a lot of shows.
That's crazy because guess what? And I'm gonna say it on live to make sure that it happens. I was actually talking to Asia Hill, which is one of the hosts of Everything and Then Some podcast, and I was talking to her on my live on my way over here. So we definitely are gonna connect with them too, and do a show with them also with her. And I can't think of his name right now, co-host. But because you said that, I had told her like, yo, I can do a podcast Monday through Sunday, but I don't really watch podcasts. Like I watch clips and highlights of podcasts, but I'm not really a podcast like watcher, which is weird because I've been doing podcasts since 2019 now.
I watch anything local. If you from Cleveland and you got some shit on social media or some shit, I probably watched it. YouTube.
Did you watch mine?
Your what?
So I have an episode on the Motherland series with one of the guests that was here before, Christopher Thomas. It's on Soup TV. If anybody wants to check that out, it's a lot of the bigger names within the Cleveland area all had their little series. Mine was actually just by myself, and it's all improv, by the way. Like I didn't have a script. He just said, "Hey, yo, I want to talk about this, that, and the other." It was a lot about just like gentrification, what the older generation has to experience with all these new technologies. The fact that just here in America, just like how things are, like you making money for a corporation, then you're pretty much doing great in life.
It was the older generation.
Yeah, well,
it's us too. I got fucked up. I'm gonna tell y'all how fucked up my shit was.
How did they talk about you when I was trying to promote this episode? Again, check out the Motherland Everybody series. I know for sure Tim Hill and Rob is on there. Oh, Bill Franklin definitely has an episode on there. Definitely make sure you check this out. All right, I guess you can talk about yourself now.
So I wanted to get some gas, right? 5 in the morning.
Oh Lord.
And I tried to use my car and my chip is messed up. Like whatever it is, my chip it's iffy. Like sometimes it work right away, sometimes it don't. Mm-hmm. This time it wouldn't work. So they got it set up to where if you got a chip, you can't swipe. So I had the chip, they wouldn't let me swipe.
That's
so I was like,
stupid.
fuck it.
What's the point in the magnetic card swipe if you can't do it?
I have no clue. Then I went to the ATM, and of course, because my chip is fucked up or whatever was going on, I couldn't use the ATM, so I couldn't get money out. So I'm thinking like, all right, so I don't have no gas. My card fucked up, but I had my Cash App card that I had not activated. So I Googled how to activate my Cash App card. Of course,
scan the little QR code. Go ahead.
The QR code that's here at the house. Because I didn't read this shit. I was like, I'm not gonna need the fucking Cash App card.
Sounded like your fault, sir.
So basically, I'm out here fucked up. My car don't work, and I'm thinking to myself like, at this point, even though I have money, I may have to panhandle because I have, like, my shit is at 0. I don't have no miles to get.
Wait, how did you go from not having money to just panhandling? Why didn't call somebody come in between us?
It's 5 in the morning. Who the fuck am I gonna call that's gonna pick up or be up?
I mean, you could call me.
In fucking Timbuktu?
You could have had somebody Cash App it to you. Oh, you.
How was I?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess,
the money wasn't the problem. Was getting the money to the gas station.
Actually, some gas stations you could use it just from your phone. Like some places are set up that you can use your phone, but I guess this wasn't one.
That is exactly what happened. My dumb ass get out. I tried to use my card again, and I had my phone in my hand, and the thing told me to like double tap on the side, and I was thinking like, yeah. I can just pay for gas using my phone.
Woo, you old.
I told you, it ain't just the older generation that's out here struggling on technology. I did not know. I'm like, so.
Wow, you can add like any debit card to your phone, and then I don't know. I have Android. I don't know how you access it. I just think I just like double tap on my screen, and it pops whatever primary card.
You hold the phone over the little thing, and it just automatically.
Well, yeah, because you didn't. That's because you were using the Cash App, but you can add a debit card just to your phone. So there.
It's not. What do you mean Cash App?
You said you were using your Cash App card, didn't you?
I tried. I know I couldn't do nothing with my Cash. Not activated.
Right. You were using your Cash App, meaning you used the Cash App.
No,
oh, you just used. Okay, so that is what you use. Your phone. Your
Apple from my bank account.
It's called Apple Pay.
I don't give a damn what it's called. Why didn't somebody in the gas station say, "Hey, man, if you got Apple Pay, you maybe
because they probably thought you knew already."
They They see me struggling. Like I done did the whole thing. I'm in here for like 20 minutes trying to stick it in here. I'm at
that's
the
what
ATM
happened.
working.
That is so crazy because that was something else. Like on the live I was doing on my way over here, that me and Asia was talking about just the technology with the lack of knowledge, rather, of technology within those that are 35 and older. Now I'm the exception to that because hello, you're watching this for a reason, but yeah,
They
the
watching for me.
majority. No, you're
This
watching
face.
because I set this shit up. The majority of people over 35 really lack a lot of the knowledge of technology. So yeah, but yeah, you have debit and credit cards you can add.
You know, I sat at that gas station for like an hour and a half trying to figure out how I was gonna get some motherfucking money outside
I'm trying
of my
to
account.
understand why you, if it was that bad, why you were scared to call anyone.
It's fucking 5 in the morning. Like the only person that I know that is literally up at 5 in the morning, and I didn't even think to call you because you live in Timbuktu. It's like my mama, and my mama goes to work and she up at 4 and then goes straight to fucking work. You know what I'm saying? So
well,
I'm like,
if it's an emergency Maserati Miyagi, you should have more than one person to call besides your mother. I'm just saying. Because I can think of a couple people at least if it's like that fucking extreme. You know. Even if I call them and they don't answer, like send them a message or something. So like when they see it, like if you that's well now you know you can.
I mean, it's a bunch of people I could have called, but shit, they're not up at 5.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, I'll put it to you this way: if I see a call from you at 5:00 in the morning, I know it's an emergency. It must be fucking serious. Because I'm not one of them people that turn my phone off when I go to sleep either. So I know a lot of people do that. Like they'll put their phone on. Like,
I was almost in tears at that gas station. I really didn't.
The struggle was real. You ain't had to struggle like that in a long time.
It was a long, because I had to drive, like, man, maybe say ATM or something. So I drove from the gas station to another ATM to a regular bank, and I tried it there, and I'm like, I don't have, like, my shit is on 0. I have 0 miles till empty. My shit is ding, ding, ding. Like, nigga, I'm driving on
What you
spit.
do? Drive all the way to the west side?
Yeah, I was already on the west
That's
side.
a damn shame.
Why is that a damn shame?
Because what you put me through. Matter of fact, this sounds more like a karmatic situation.
I didn't put you through anything.
Because
I knew where I was getting my gas.
Follow me. You had me following you. I didn't know that you were getting gas. Right? We ain't got to get in that story because people are gonna watch and just be lost. But yeah,
I didn't know you was following me.
All right. So what other topics do we have for today?
People like, you had me following. I didn't know you were following.
I mean, I was literally right behind you. We left one location, was headed to another.
Yeah, but if we both know the location, why would you follow me if we both know the location? Though?
Because we left from one location, and last I knew, we were headed to another. I'm not about to talk about this.
All right, going to a store or something.
All right, so what topics do we have for today? We can start with Angela Yee leaving the Breakfast Club, which honestly I wasn't surprised. The only thing I was surprised at is the fact that it didn't happen sooner. She announced earlier this week that she was leaving. She has other shows that's currently going right now. I think one of her shows is actually predated to Breakfast Club, which I did not know that until they announced that she was no longer going to be on the show. Honestly, I'm just expecting the show itself to just end. It hasn't. I don't even remember the last interview I felt like looking at. And I know, like we were saying before, like I was saying, I don't watch podcasts, but it's like with the Breakfast Club, their interviews used to be so dope. Like, I would tune in for that, or at least like when they would post the whole interview itself. Like, I'm not good for like watching whole interviews of like people. Shit, I got shit out there myself. I haven't even actually watched. So. Again, like I said, I wasn't shocked. The only thing I was shocked at is the fact that the show hasn't ended sooner. I expect the whole show. Charlamagne got a show. DJ Envy is doing his thing with the
cars or something.
Yeah, he has like this car show.
Real estate. That's what he do. He's traveling and do that seminar and shit for real estate.
Okay. Well, honestly, what I think is about to happen, because before it came out that he was cheating on his wife, they were actually about to have a reality show. And I think that's probably what's about to pick up. I know like a few months ago, she was on the Breakfast Club. She, meaning DJ Envy's wife, and that had got mentioned. So I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna have. I think they're all just gonna split off and do their own thing. The show's been on for a decade or like more now. So sometimes things just need to end. I think so much has changed now. Just like within social media, the way things get streamed and things like that. I think it's just time for that new thing to just step in and take their place. Actually,
I don't know what the hell happened. I just seen like part of it. Now, oh, she's leaving. Yeah, like, I ain't
well,
even see a whole
yeah.
announcement or nothing. Like I ain't listened to or watched the Breakfast
Um,
Club, and I don't know how long.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like their interviews like used to be so worthy of watching. Now I don't know if this was coming anyway. I don't know if like COVID played a role because I know pre-COVID people were definitely still watching and talking about the Breakfast Club. But a decade in this era, shit. I mean, I don't think either of us are like down in the show. Like they were what they were. It's an amazing show. It's one of those shows that we're gonna always bring up. Like we bring up 106 in Park, we bring up Rap City, and just other things like that. I know for me, I got a couple overseas shows like over in Great Britain that people constantly talk about. I think the Breakfast Club definitely gets added to that list. It's gonna be interesting to see with Charlemagne. For me, I think Charlemagne is probably going to be the one I'm most interested in seeing what all he does next because I know he has at least two other shows already going. Angela Yee, I respect her like crazy. I love what she's done, especially as just being a female within this industry. But the Charlemagne, at some point, I think circa 2017, maybe even before, it was like the show was kind of primarily being carried by Charlemagne the God. It was like if he wasn't there for your interview, what was the point of you even showing up?
Yeah, I would say I don't know if they will continue to show just Charlamagne and DJ Envy because DJ
Um,
Envy is not he's not a
yeah,
radio personality person. Like I don't really think.
he's got the voice for sure. I love his radio voice.
I mean,
I
but
think they were that trifecta. All three work very well together.
I don't remember DJ Envy really doing anything like I can really remember. Like I don't remember
You
like there
mean
was
as
an
far as the
interview.
Breakfast Club?
Yeah, like as
Yeah,
far as like who did he interview? What question did he ask somebody? Where I was
yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
what
I
I'm
remember that.
saying. Yeah,
Like everything's pretty much been the other two. I'm like, I don't know what DJ Envy is really.
I think it was really. That's what I'm saying. Somewhere around that a few years ago, it was just all about Charlemagne. That's why I was like, yo, if he wasn't there, like if I'm coming to Breakfast Club, you tell me Charlemagne ain't there, I'm not coming. And that's just how I felt for like a lot of years now. Um, Angela Lee, like I said, I respect the fuck out of her, but I think as far as carrying the show, that shit was on his shoulders. I don't think too many people would disagree with
I mean, he's
that.
more
We
of a
weren't
character.
live this whole time.
What?
We weren't live this whole
Oh, because of the screen up there.
time. Damn, I tried. But yeah, Charlemagne. Charlemagne. No, I'm joking. That was our live. That was an absolute joke. Why did you believe that? That was definitely our
I
live.
bet you won't joke again. Bet you that's your last goddamn joke on this show. My
I
show.
really
Or
am
my
like a
variety show.
whole Aaliyah vibe right now. Why is that? Outside of this, when did she ever wear?
You should just really just lie and tell people like this was my Aaliyah tribute. The
I
Aaliyah
don't. It
tribute
was
show.
an accident though.
Motherfucker
Well,
be
I
watching like
don't.
they got an Aaliyah tribute show. They watch the whole show be like, they didn't do anything from Aaliyah. They didn't do dance moves or anything. I
Because
thought
I
you
feel
were
like
gonna
I'm
say.
low key, like even I don't look like her, but I'm like looking like her. Maybe it's the bandana, but I don't remember.
Nigga, it's the whole goddamn outfit. You got
That's
on
what I was gonna
white
say.
camouflage pants, a bandana, and a goddamn halter top shirt.
So okay, this is what we were supposed to look up, and I hate that the
What you about to
laptop.
look up? Your Aaliyah outfit?
No, her dated uh, death
There's
because
gonna be a bunch of
we.
pictures of the outfit that you wearing right now.
No, I'm looking up the date that she passed. You freaking goofball. Because we were trying before the show started. We were actually trying to remember her. No, that's nothing like what I'm wearing right now. What are you talking about? Her
It's close.
her passing date because I was pretty sure it was in August and it was just August 25th. Well, this is still within the month. You know what? I'm gonna add to this discussion. because we're going to talk about Ashanti anyway. That can that definitely was going to be a topic. Ashanti, Irv Gotti, and Drink Champs was definitely going to be a topic. It's going to be a topic again with Sunday. I can't wait to discuss this again Sunday with Fuck Your Couch host Turner and Beck. Yo, Ashanti, within that little bit of time frame, she was like the top bitch. This girl had what 3 number ones at the same goddamn time. What she put out, that shit sold like a motherfucker, right? So we actually had looked up like the other female artists that were out at this time. And by we, I'm talking about Aunt Marl and Mike D, who was actually co-hosted the show for that one time you weren't here. And this is what we were discussing, right? And we looked this up before we even watched the interview of Drink Champs. And I owe her like way more credit. Don't get me wrong, I was a fan, but I owe her more credit than I ever given her. Because that one album had 3 top hits on there. Happy, Foolish, and I can't think of the third. But that alone, chick ran the fucking summer. And it was like whatever took place with Irv, and even he said it on Drink Champs after he told all her business, was like, yo, she was like the shit. And then y'all had this whole Fed situation, and all she had Nelly. I don't blame you for that. And then she just went about her business. And we were also trying to figure out like would Ashanti have been able to put out another top album like that? I don't know.
Depending on who she got around. Depending on who her writers was and shit.
Well, he said he inspired. He didn't write Happy, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the thing is this. You still have to get around the right people for certain things because she's had albums out after that came. Like, she's had recent, like, albums that came out.
Yeah, she had 2 within closer to that time frame because I looked it up.
Yes, and, you know, like, she wasn't around those same people. Just like any, you know, and it's no different with, you know, most artists. Like, once Genuine wasn't around Timberland and Missy anymore, you seen the change in his music. You seen the change in the way his music was made. Producer. It just wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't pony. It wasn't 100%. 100% was a classic.
Now, and within saying that, Irv is no Missy. Irv is no Timberland. Okay, there is an exception to the rule when you're talking about consistently working with Timberland and Missy because of the beats. They do game-changing beats, and they're original. They're not remakes all the time. So there's a slight difference because I'm sorry, Irv is like Timberland and Missy is like way up here. So I totally understand what you're saying, and I completely agree. But on the basis of that, I can say shit. She could have went and worked with Timberland and Missy because what we're talking about, that album was 2002, and Aaliyah passed in 2001.
Yeah, I mean, if it meshed.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I mean, she could have. Now, I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying Missy and Timberland would have like swapped her out, but if she had went with them,
yeah, I mean, it always depends on who. It always depends on who you align yourself with when it comes to, you know, your music and shit. Because, you know, you'll come in the game and you'll be around, you know, the right person. It ain't got to be the exact producer, but it can be the person that produced this song and this song. But, you know, that producer comes and this person go be there, that person go be there, this songwriter go be there. Mm-hmm. So when you come into the game, your shit is a hit. And then when you remove yourself from those people or that person, those people aren't around anymore. So then your sound changes, and sometimes it just don't mesh well a lot of times. Yeah. Like, you know, any shit. This didn't happen with Jermaine Dupri a couple times. Like, once Bow Wow was like, I want to do it without Jermaine. And then he had the shit with Baby in the car and shit like that. Yeah. It was downhill.
I mean, he started as a kid.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, you don't want to venture out.
You want to venture out, but my problem is I don't like the way people aren't comfortable with themselves in the industry because, you know, Bow Wow's whole thing was he wanted to be, you know, big Bow Wow and all this other shit. And I'm like, you know.
Yeah, but wait. We're going off the topic.
We're getting off topic, but.
Well, we always go off a topic, and then we go so far off a topic. Like,
bring back her.
Bring it back. Because I've had people watch, like, yo, you totally lost me. So where we were was Ashanti and Irv Gotti. And back on topic, since we talking about working with each other, outside of him telling her business, which you really did, like, why was that even necessary to say when you really think about watching the playback or watching the interview? What really kind of pissed me off, like almost the same amount of him telling her business, was when he was like, "Yo, I put her on." Now, right before he said that, he said she was in the studio every single day. You didn't put her on. If she's sitting there doing the fucking work and where she's supposed to be, when the fuck she's supposed to be there, she in the gym shooting right with you. So I hate, especially when men say it about women, but honestly, I hate it across the board when somebody say, "Yeah, I'll put you on," but at the same time, that person put all the work in. That's not cool. That was old. He disagrees.
It depends because had it not been for Murder Inc. Well, I don't know what she was doing before Murder Inc. So it would be hard for me to say. But if it wasn't for Murder Inc., we probably wouldn't know who Ashanti was.
Ashanti had more. Okay, I'll put it to you this way: they didn't do that tour. That Murder Inc. tour didn't happen, did it? They tried to get Ashanti. Ashanti didn't want to do it, so the Murder Inc. tour doesn't happen. Who's more valuable here?
I mean, more
because he ain't go at it with just Ja Rule and Lloyd and Charlie Baltimore, right? So this is what I'm saying. Like,
what
okay,
you mean he didn't go at it?
Okay. So from what I got from that interview, Ashanti turned down doing the Murder Inc. tour. The Murder Inc. tour doesn't happen. I didn't hear him say nobody else didn't want to do it. So why did you just had to have her? But for me, if somebody says this is to me, oh, we got a problem. Don't ever tell me you put me on, because I know my work ethic. I put myself on. You wouldn't even be aware of me if I wasn't sitting here. So when he said that about her, I'm like, yo, you can't sit here and say somebody has been sitting there this whole time doing what they're supposed to be doing, ready to work, writing whatever the fuck else she was doing, and then be like, yeah, but I put you on. So when you did this, then I was mad. When you said you ain't want to do this anymore, I felt some kind of way. Shit, first of all, she wasn't tied into that shit for life. And if you ain't have all that bullshit coming at you, she probably would have still been there. And he said, they didn't catch me for the shit I'm guilty of. So she had more than one reason to be like, yo, I don't want to do this no more. I'm out. And I feel like, now he's saying that's what hurt him more, but and it seems like he was more hurt about Nelly.
All right, well, I'll touch on a couple things. First off, and I've talked about it before, when there are certain things that happen, Murder Inc. had their legal situation, and Irv said something about her leaving. But what we have to be aware of, how can I put this? We got to be aware of this. When the feds are trying to get you on something, you need to realize that depending on what it is, and I believe it was RICO charges they was trying to get Murder Inc. on.
That was part of it for sure.
I've talked about it before. You don't have to do shit in a RICO case. Removing yourself from those people in that RICO case is the best thing that you can possibly do, because what they'll do is they'll say, all right, so we're getting this guy. He's at the top. Then there's this guy. Then they're making money with this person. And this person is associated with them. If they bring you in as being associated with those people, then they can bring you in on those RICO charges. Yep. Now you have to fight those charges. So Ashanti could have been fighting some charges, and she it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to fight charges if you don't know anything, because they like, we know you know something. You like, I don't know shit. I
feel like she knew something. I do. I don't think she was totally naive to everything taking place. Because like I said, even he in his own way said they didn't get me for, or try to charge me for things that I was actually guilty of. They tried to bring him into the RICO case for giving Preem money, and tried to say it was for one thing. And he was like, no, it was for investment for a movie or whatever the fuck he said. What I'm saying is, I think she was aware of whatever his other bullshit was. And like he also said, like, yo, man, shit, I'm out of here, because it can also, sometimes it's also just like a matter of fucking time. And I think for her, and within her career and the image they had set for her, like, yeah, they can surround her with all that bullshit, but at the same time, she kind of had to keep that little good girl image. You can be surrounded by them, but that's like the J-Lo. Like, yo, I'm not about Look like my hands is actually dirty within this. Um,
I mean, do you really think Irv has done something
hell
that
yeah.
I don't think so.
Hell fucking yeah. He got his
No,
hands into some shit that may have passed the statute of limitations by now.
no,
Statute. I didn't say statute. The statute of limitations by now, but I mean, that's what I'm saying.
no.
He practically said it on the show. You know that nigga talk too much. And that's another thing. John Wood was so full of shit. Why you acting like you ain't know none of this?
Listen, they've already had points where they've shown Irv Gotti has lied about certain things. I've seen interviews where he vouched for shit that I'm telling y'all, like, and anybody that's really honest with themselves will say, you're not gonna, don't vouch for that because that shit cannot happen in fucking real life. Mm-hmm. So, what I'm saying is this. I think maybe Irv's brother may have done some shit, but I believe Irv comes to me as a person that he was into the music aspect and he was into like more business type shit. He doesn't strike me as somebody that was into some shit where you was like, hey man, you get a little jail time for this. I think that was his brother that may have been the nigga that was doing it. It's just like, we seen I'm not gonna get into everybody else's business, but a lot of times it's somebody else is there that's a brother or somebody else, and they the ones that's doing shit like, well, how was this funded? It was the brother that was coming in. He was the one doing dirt. He knew this person. He introduced you to this person. They still doing dirt, but you're not doing anything. You're the one that's pretty much keeping your hands clean. But once again, by association, if you around certain people, you look like you are somebody that you may not be. They may keep you around because you the nigga you making music. We just like being in the studio. When you make a lot of money, you do weird shit and you hang around weird type of folks. And a lot of time we see stars even. Stars be having people that they just got money, but they just like being around shit. I like being around the nigga that's making music. I like being in the studio. They don't rap, sing, write, nothing. They just got money. They just like being around the shit.
A celebrity is kind of what it comes down to. But I don't think that's what the situation was
with Irv.
Yeah. With Ashanti, I still feel like Irv was in with whatever other shit. And maybe she just wanted out. Like I said, Nelly is definitely the better option to me. So maybe maybe she was just done anyway. And were they actually in a relationship? Because he was saying like the way he put it, I didn't completely hear it defined as them being in a relationship. I know he said he was in love with her and shit, but that don't mean they was actually together. Because I feel like if that was the case, the way he found out was just kind of
Wait, what?
He said he found out about Nelly from them being at a basketball game together.
I'm trying to figure out, what do you mean in a relationship? He was married at the time. Can he be in a relationship?
No, he said Ashanti, like him and his wife was already done by the time him and Ashanti was together.
But was they?
He actually said it was other women before her that even broke the marriage up, like before she even came around. So they could have possibly maybe still been together on paper, but I don't think they were like together. Or he might have just been trying to save face for her, but if that was the case, you could have just shut the fuck up in the first place. But hey, to that point, then still, hey, if you were still legally married, how you found out is just a way.
I think he was still legally married. Like, and I'm definitely a person that tells females all the time, like, y'all really got to stop falling for this. He's married, but they're separated or whatever. Like, I'm tired of hearing that shit. Like, well, he said, I'm like, he's still married. Like, he may have told you X, Y, and Z, but if he's married, I'm like, y'all need to wait. I've seen more females open to date dudes that are married and say that they're separated than they are to date a guy that has like a baby on the way or a newborn baby or some shit like that. And I'm like, one person is clearly not legally able to be in a relationship with you, and the other person
can. I think it depends on how you view marriage. For me, marriage is a piece of paper. Okay, that's getting permission to be together or to not be together. For me, I think it comes down to how you actually feel about that person. Because if you're done with that person, a piece of paper isn't going to keep it that way or stop it from being that way. So I totally get what you're saying, especially within being bamboozled. But for me, it's a piece of paper. Hey, Alicia
Yeah.
Keys and Swiss Beats is definitely the example of it's just a piece of paper. Like even with me, like if I was married and I'm done with this person, that piece of paper is not going to bind me to you. I can still go about my business as I so please. If I'm done with you, I'm done with you. It doesn't have to be an official report.
Listen, again, ladies.
Just like that
Stop.
piece of paper don't stop a husband or wife from cheating.
Yeah, but a lot of times what happens is these females date these guys and say that they're separated, whatever, have that piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, what happens is either their relationship don't work out with that extra female, or you find out that they're not really separated or whatever else the case may be. You know, and I'm saying females like, well, he said he's gonna leave his wife, and I'm like, I've heard this shit on TV shows before, and that shit ain't work. What makes you
know
think
what
in
the
real
beauty
life?
is? You know what the beauty is? One, you're not committed. Those two are. Okay, it's still a piece of paper. Whatever way they separate, they stuck with that shit. That shit happens. You just go about your life.
Go about your life.
You are the free one in this situation. Be this man, be this woman. You are free. Once it's done, your life can go back to exactly how it was, and they got to deal with the bullshit.
The problem is
the flip to that is the other outside person was not the ones that made any commitments to anyone.
But the problem with that whole situation is a lot of times that person that's free don't live like they're free if that situation. It's not like they just like, well, I was free anyway, and that person said that they was just, separated or whatever. It don't happen like that. Like that other person really takes it like we were together. This is a relationship. I'm heartbroken about losing this married man and all this other shit. Like if you want to date somebody that's married and they say they separated, cool. But until that paper is officially torn up by the courts, don't put your emotions and your heart and soul into that situation. Because
I can see where you have a point.
I'm like,
but that's why I said it depends on how you view marriage. To me, marriage ain't nothing but a piece of paper. You get to file your taxes, however, you get your cut on health care, whatever advantages you get. That piece of paper does not bind emotions. So I'm not saying that I disagree. You taking a risk, but that's why I said if that shit doesn't go that way, you get to go about your everyday life as though this never even happened.
Don't take the risk. There's plenty of single niggas out here that's not married, separated, sleeping in separate houses or sleeping in the same house, but they're just sleeping in the same house for the kids.
That is absolutely true. That's why I said it depends on how you view marriage. And sometimes don't nothing else come along in between that time, so you just with that person to something else because they are still married, so you are open to those other options until that marriage is official. But again, it depends on how you view marriage. I still say marriage ain't nothing but a piece of paper. That's just how I see it. And it really comes down to even like a religious aspect. Some people feel they are bound by freaking God and shit because they got married in front of a church. I don't believe in those things. So those things don't apply to me.
Again,
it depends on how you view it. And I'm not saying I disagree with you. But the top thing is the beauty is you just go back to your life. That shit don't work out. That's it. That's why you ain't the one married.
They don't never go back to their normal happy single life. They be fucking fucked up.
Really?
Trust me, I'm a single guy. I've heard probably at least 10 females in my lifetime tell me the same exact. He was separated from his wife. He didn't did it. He didn't did it. And at least half of those times, the nigga went back to his wife. If they were really fucking like. I don't put shit past people because
you know what wows me is when the wife never knows.
I mean, it depends on the relationship. Some dudes get married and they still live like they are single. So the nigga coming in at 3 a.m. all the time and doing all that shit. Like it's niggas that still do the shit, that married and everything, still coming in 2, 3 a.m. So the wife getting cheated on, you be like, well, how did she not know? The nigga came in at 3 a.m. every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, he had time to go out, fuck, shower at the motel, and fucking come home and be in bed by 2:30. So I'm not surprised by the whole, that whole how the wife didn't know. No, because niggas be
I
out
think it
here.
surprises me when you don't notice because there should be like some change in your husband's behavior. I know though, like a lot of men cheat because they wife hate, and a lot of wives cheat because their SO ain't paying them no mind. So maybe they don't notice any of your other changes behaviors because that is also one reason. But I think you kind of like having this discussion with the wrong person because of how I'll be married. I'm not the person to talk to about this because I'm like, yo, it's a piece of paper. I honestly, for me, I would rather be with someone and we have our own arrangement set up that's not actually like marriage. Because those same rules that people have under marriage, like shit, man, you can have a fucking lawyer or somebody type that shit up amongst yourselves. And then when you're ready to leave, you can just leave. You don't have to ask for permission from the court. You don't have to go to divorce and all this other shit that people have to go because that shit is already set. And personally, I feel like everybody just leave what the fuck they came with.
Why are you allowed to get off topic when I start talking about?
We are still on topic. We were definitely talking about marriage. What are you talking about? Oh, I thought we were done. Only thing I thought we were done, and the only thing I had to add to that was Ja Rule. But I didn't bring up this whole marriage situation. We were talking about that because of the whole Ashanti situation, and you were saying that Irv was still like married.
Yeah,
and that's when I was like,
still married.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, yo, on paper, but he flat out said on the show their marriage was definitely done, and Ashanti was not the first person to come in the middle of their marriage. Like his marriage was, he said it was like 3 other women that broke that shit up. So by the time she got there, that shit was a wrap.
Well, all right. So,
but that's what I'm saying. That
going back to that point in time, and Irv said it before he got drunk on a different interview. He said, he was just, I can't remember. I think he was talking about like the police had came one time for a domestic dispute between him and his wife, and the cop was like kind of rough with her, and he was like, hey, lay your hands off of her. And he said something, he was like, I mean, I was a complete asshole. He was like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was a complete jerk. So when we talk about women between the wife to Ashanti, there was women fuck before the wife, during the wife, between Ashanti.
See how marriage is just a piece of paper? That piece of paper did not bind him to stay faithful to his wife. He did it.
I mean, shit ain't nothing gonna make you stay faithful, but
boom,
with his situation, like, I mean, he was out there doing his thing. So, and it's not, we really never gonna get a real answer because we would have to, get an interview from Ashanti, which I don't think Ashanti
she gives.
I don't think she gonna talk about it.
And the reason I think she was because I know she's doing shows right now. Like a couple days after this interview aired, she had a show in fucking Vegas that she was doing. I don't know if it was actually her own show or she was just popping up with somebody else's. The other day I saw her with Nelly. I think they're still cute together. I don't know if that works out because I know he's not with the other girl anymore. But yeah, I don't. I hope she gives her half again before the Breakfast Club said they was in it. I'm like, yo, Ashanti, go on Breakfast Club, tell your half of the story. And only reason I say that is because she's a celeb and your business is out there anyway. I don't feel like she needs to clear her name. Everybody flat out said, yo, Irv is tripping. Why the fuck would you talk about? Like, even within context, like, it didn't. It's like that could have just been left out. I feel like it was also promo for him because they got whatever Murder Inc. documentary. Also to add to the list, as we completely back on subject, yo, I didn't like the fact that, like, okay, when he said keeping all the publishing and things like that because that's how he makes his money, I totally understand, but you don't need 100%. And I feel that way about anyone. The thing is, he's selling all that shit off and he's getting money for it. And on top of that, he's got, like I said, he's got the Murder Inc. Documentary come out. This was just promo for him. Now, I will say, as a plus to Irv knows how to give an interview. Because not many people can keep me watching like that. The only reason I stopped watching him because it was like 4 something in the morning and I was sleepy as shit and I was just ready to go home. So I got like 30 minutes through the interview. I got past up until whatever we've discussed so far. So I actually have not seen the whole thing, but I was interested in continuing to watch. But yeah, it was the same when him and Ja was on the Breakfast Club. He knows how to give a good interview, and Ja knows how to be a great hype man for those interviews. I don't know nothing. Where is this coming from? You so full of shit. Did you think Ja Rule actually did not know this? Those two things that he dropped.
Hold on. All right. So the two things that he said he didn't
Oh
know about.
shit, I forgot what the other. But the one was like him saying that he didn't know anything about Irvin Ashanti. I call bullshit.
I mean, I would say the same thing if I was Ja Rule. If I'm friends with
Or
both
not
people,
say nothing. He could have just shut the fuck up. Why would you
wouldn't-
lie? We know you lying.
man, listen, it's TV. You can lie on national
No,
television.
you can't
and
because
people be like,
you getting called out by me and others. Like, okay, here's why for a fact I know he's lying. We all know Irv don't know how to shut the fuck up. Even if nothing he said is true, you full of shit to sit here and say, I never heard these things before. When did this happen? What? Come on, man. You even sounded like he was lying. I can't think of what the other thing was again. I only watched like the first half.
I remember him saying like he didn't know about something, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember what the other thing was.
But
it might have been the Tony Montola thing, was it? When Irv was talking about he had called somebody a nigga and like he got, I think it might have been more than two that John was like, oh, I didn't know anything about you.
Now that might be something that, you know what I'm saying, he didn't know about, but
I just feel like Irv talks too much.
It's when the thing is, Irv gets drunk and then he's just very chattery and very loose because he said a lot of different things about a lot of different people, and you know the problem is when you hear these things from a drunk Irv, you kind of feel like
this was weed. He kept calling it heroin. They gave him live resin. I know you've never had live resin before. It is more potent, but I feel like I just feel like he's one of those people that just talk without enhancements.
Yeah, I mean he does talk without being fucked up, but when he gets fucked up, he talks about a lot of different things. He just starts to spew out different types of shit when things happen. And the problem with doing that is this: if you're honestly trying to put together this Murder Inc. tour, you can't.
I don't think so.
Well, he said that he was trying to do it when he approached Ashanti.
Yeah,
right?
That was like a while ago though.
But I mean, even still, he said something about Lloyd on the interview.
I mean, do they really need Lloyd on the tour? But go ahead.
Yes,
I think Lil Wayne would be more useful with Lloyd. Like
for a Murder Inc. tour.
Wait, what am I thinking of? One Lloyd over on Cash Money at one point.
Oh,
damn, where did he go? He wasn't just on
It was just that, and then he left. Like
not Cash Money, Young Money. I thought
he only did that one song.
Oh, I swear he was somewhere else besides Murder Inc. after. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm tired of bending over to this computer. I'll look it up later.
He was on Bedrock, but I think it was the thing about Omarion. They was trying to sign Omarion, and Omarion was on the original Bedrock, and then they replaced Omarion with Lloyd. So he wasn't never signed or nothing like that to Young Money. But yeah, I mean, if you go,
maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
If you go do a Murder Inc. tour, like you have to be able to. If it's Murder Inc., it has to be Murder Inc. You gotta have.
Ja Rule can't hold that down
because it's a Ja Rule concert
then just do that. Because you ain't getting Ashanti, especially not now.
Well, before Ashanti said no, and he was trying to put this whole thing together. The thing is, if you hold resentment towards people you're trying to get to do stuff, it's going to be hard because, like I said, you can't say like the fucked up shit. Like he was like, oh, what happened with Lloyd? Oh, he was in the fucking G Unit video. And I'm thinking like,
yeah, I don't think I got that far.
Nobody remembers Lloyd in the G. I'm like, y'all seen him in the video, but don't nobody really remember that G Unit video. They don't remember Lloyd being over there. And it honestly, it has nothing
bitterness.
Yeah, because Lloyd has nothing to do with it. Like my thing is this: don't take your personal shit because 50 and Ja Rule got personal shit. Don't bring your artists into that feeling like they should pick sides because, in all honesty, nigga, that is like a job. Like Lloyd is there to sing, motherfucker. He's not here to back you up if a fight break out or some shit. Like y'all got real shit. If a nigga get killed between that shit, I would be like, damn, that's fucked up that Lloyd is the motherfucker in the middle of this shit with them niggas. and he's not even from there. He's not from New York. He's not from Queens.
Yeah.
So you're mad that this nigga was in a video for G Unit, but he doesn't have any. He signed to you, but he's not in that beef. That's not.
He
his
has this thing, and I mostly see something like that in men. They become real like bitter towards people they feel are being disloyal, and their definition of disloyal is weird as fuck. Like, you can't work with nobody else but me. That's it. You here or nowhere else, and that's just so weird to me. But yeah, I mean, him not. I don't see a Murder Inc. tour ever happening. And personally, I'm not missing anything because I was definitely that person that was not a Ja Rule fan. I was so happy to see him get destroyed by 50. And also Eminem, my baby. You know what we could talk about?
What?
The Game is dropping an album within, I guess, like a few hours, because this is supposed to take place on Friday, August 12th. And I heard he got some shit to say about my husband, Eminem, Marshall Mathers, B. Rabbit, Slim Shady. And I'm just like, yo, here we go with this carrying over bitterness shit. You still mad because you ain't get on the Super Bowl performance? Is what this feels like. But also within that, it's like at this point, when you name drop him, especially if you saying you got a diss track on him, that's just promotion for whatever you put out.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad or good things are over there, but you dropping a 30 track album and your highlight of it is the fact that you got a diss track on Eminem.
Yeah, I mean, shit. When you drop an album, anything's gonna be that promo. Nigga, it could be, the simplest shit in the world that get your ass some promo. If it's gonna work, fuck it, do it.
Yeah, but you trying to diss the man you using to promo your album. Because that's what the majority of people are the first track they're gonna go to. What is he saying about Eminem? Because even what year, 2022, over 20 years later, just saying that you got some shit to say about him, like, people still, it's like a little less of expectations of a problem, but it's possible. Like, because I think at this point we all know what Marshall Mathers is capable of when it comes to a pen and a paper and a microphone. But I mean, hey, whatever helps you get a record sale, I'll probably not gonna listen. Because I just don't care about the game no more. It ain't even about him dropping a fucking diss track on him. One, I don't see him capable of carrying or having a good album that's 30 songs. I don't see that being as possible. Even when he was at his peak, his prime, shit, 50 was helping you write some of that shit, as like composing it to rap. You weren't very good as a rapper, from what I hear. So yeah, like I don't really care.
I wouldn't say not good as a rapper, because I do remember the G Not mixtapes against.
But that's what I'm saying as a rapper. So when it came to making songs, like, he could rap, but when it came to making it an actual song is where he struggled. So look, you just said mixtape, right? That's not the same.
Well, because I thought you were saying that you didn't feel like
I probably didn't
but
say that right.
Even I mean, he's made good music. Like, there was albums that I didn't care for, but shit, I'm not gonna take nothing away from the fact that he had songs when that come out. Shit, I listen to because he does make good music.
I don't care no more.
You know,
I don't. But I was never that big of the game fan. Like, he had some songs that was cool as far as whole albums. I didn't really particularly care. That's why I'm like, yo, 30 tracks, I'll pass. I don't want to hear you on 30 songs. I don't care how many features it is. Somebody else was putting out an album with like no features. I forget who that was. And it's like,
somebody said it was The Game. Like, I seen that printed out where somebody was like,
oh, is that 30, what happened?
Yeah, they was like 30 albums and no features. And then,
was it The Game that went? I could have sworn I just saw something today. Oh no, you know what I'm thinking of? The track list itself. So maybe he do got 30 songs, but maybe it was him. I'm definitely not about to listen to The Game for 30 songs myself.
Well, no. The thing, okay, here's the thing that we have to do and separate shit, because we sometimes we have these conversations about clickbait, and the thing about clickbait is this: clickbait can be so good sometimes that this person over here sees that clickbait and they think that's a real story, so they print it, and then that person sees that and then they print it. I went to the game's page when they said no 30 songs, no features, because the song that I know with Kanye West, that's a fucking feature. And it's on the album. So when I went to his page, it doesn't say that. He never said he has an album with no features.
No.
I've seen somebody say that on an advertisement where they was like 30 songs, no feature. The game has no features on this shit. And people was like listing songs that was on his album that's coming out that has features.
Yeah.
So he didn't never say he didn't have features on it. Somebody printed it and somebody else ran with it.
Yeah, and I usually only take it from like valid sources of like the Shade Room or the Complex. So that must have just been something I was hearing. But remember, I didn't even realize it was him that I heard that about, because that's just how deep my lack of caring is. So I get what you said, but usually when I say something like that, it's coming from as valid of a source that we can have in the days of social media being where it is. Like, I thought I saw that on like the Shade Room or something, but again, I didn't care enough to care.
Yeah, I don't think nobody is.
I don't see no names next to these songs. So here's the track list, right? You see that, right?
I see the track list, but
there's no other names of features. So
listen,
it could be a voice or like somebody saying something on the song, but when it comes to listing them as a feature, perhaps it's not enough, because I know I've looked at albums before and other names.
Kanye West is on Easy.
What I'm telling you is, first of all, we've all heard Easy. Is that listed on here?
Yes.
I don't see it. Oh, there it goes, the second one. Sometimes that'll happen. Like, I've pulled up Kanye West on Spotify, and as the song is playing, the feature names don't pop up. So it's quite possible this is wrapup.com, right? We can say that's valid, right? Somebody looked at this track list and said, I don't see any names next to this. There must not be any features. Because you don't see any names listed.
I mean,
I'm not saying they don't exist. What I'm saying is, if somebody went to Wrap Up right now, right?
Yeah.
Never heard the song Easy, right? Seeing all these songs, and how do we know that the easiest song has Kanye West verse still on it? I don't know. I don't care enough to investigate. But you look at that, right? There's no names listed.
I get it. But if you go to Wrap Up and you look up an artist track list and their fucking single has something, like, I think that it would just be crazy. But I'm saying it's a difference if it's a song that's on his album that we was like, oh yeah, we've heard it before. But if it's a actual single for your shit, it's hard to come out and be like, his album doesn't have any features and his single does. Like, it would be irresponsible just to type some shit up. Like,
but
I don't see no features.
What if he's easy? What if he took Kanye verse off? Kanye even did it before. Took people verse off. What if this is just his verse?
If they went to Wrap Up, I clearly seen Kanye West's name in a little right.
I'm
right
looking
above
at it right now, and it says no. Look, no. Don't stop.
You said somebody went to Wrap Up.
No, stop. It says Drillmatic drops Friday. See the track list below. Cool. When you look at the track list, there is nothing there but the names of the songs. It does not say feature.
But there's plenty of artists that don't list the features on there. You shouldn't just go off and be like, it doesn't have features because it's not listed on the track list. But just like you said, what if somebody went to Wrap Up and seen the track list? You telling me they didn't think to scroll up to where it tells you Kanye West is on the album?
No, because they want to see the track list. Why would I read all these other paragraphs of shit when all I want to see is the names of the songs and who's featured on them? So shout out to Wrap Up for not putting the...
Because it wouldn't make sense, because the goddamn song says it has Kanye West.
No, it doesn't. If I go straight to the track list, which it says right here, Drillmatic drops Friday. See track list below. They didn't list the features. And my guess is they aren't the only website that has done that, though.
No. Listen, as far as Wrap Up is concerned, they printed the track list the way that the track list is presented. But I've listened to albums where the person that's on these songs is not fucking listed. It happens. It happens. So I don't think that you should go off and be like, well, I don't see anybody listed, so I should print up that he doesn't have any features.
Why wouldn't somebody naturally think, if I'm looking at the track list, doesn't say any features, that there was?
Because this is not the first time that somebody has listed a track list without the fucking features on there.
That's stupid to me, and I've always felt like it's stupid. I've been on Spotify before and listening to music and happen to look down, and I'm clearly hearing another voice, but the name isn't listed on a feature. Kanye West has dropped his track list before, and even like if you look at the album, I can't think of which one. It might be even more than one. It does not list the names of the features.
I mean, that's great for Kanye, but
that's what I'm saying. So if you go and you're just looking because you can't hear the shit yet, especially if this was like 2, 3, 4 days ago or whatever, and you went and you looked at the track list, you don't see any fucking names listed, you're gonna think what? Oh, this must just be all game. Because somebody did. No. J. Cole did it.
No,
J. Cole did it. J. Cole did it. So if I was to go on Wrap Up and I didn't see any features listed on his album, right? Okay. So am I wrong for?
If you go to somebody's track,
but there weren't any features,
and you don't see any features,
right?
And you just assume that I'm going to type up an article based on,
but it's Wrap Up
something. You're basing that off of because you don't see features on the track list. Now, if you say you listen to the album, you didn't hear features. That's different. But just because it's not on the track list,
but you can't hear it yet. It don't come out yet. Artists typically just drop the track list before the album comes out. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is if anybody, it does not take a lack of common sense to look on a website that should be valid and you look directly at the track list because you don't care about how the album came to be, why the album came to be, what the fuck the album's about, and all that other bullshit. You just want to know the name of the goddamn songs. But here's Wrap Up, right? They're like, no, we just gonna give you the name of the song. We're not gonna tell you the features. So you're gonna actually think they don't goddamn features.
No, because other people have albums that don't have
honestly,
features listed.
You never admit when I'm like right, so I'm not expecting you to.
I've seen albums that don't have features listed.
And that's what I'm saying. So this album that has not come out yet, if somebody went and they looked on Wrap Up and all they saw was the name of these songs and no one listed the features, it's not a lack of common sense to think, okay, well, this
it is because, goddamn it, you haven't heard the album to know that there is no features and all you're looking at is a track list saying,
I don't even try no more.
Oh, well, must not be no features. I
don't even try no more. We are definitely.
Must not be a producer. Producer's not listed on the track list.
Who's gonna look for the producer on the track list? We are definitely over our 1 hour time frame. Thank you everyone for tuning in live on Thursdays for Just Say Fuck It. Be sure to tune in Sunday at 2:30. We will be joined. Well, not so much joined because I don't want to call them a feature, but we're gonna have a show together with Fuck Your Couch. So it's actually called Fuck Your Church because it's happening on a Sunday. We're gonna talk about Trump and the feds watching. Brittany Griner. I think I called her Brittany El Chapo Griner, and I forget what the other topic was. So shout out to those hosts, Burner and Beck. Again, I am BLK Pepper Potts.
I'm Maserati, and this is the Maserati Show.
I ain't no feature. Shout out to Peace of Mind
That's
Protection.
That's why she's not listed.
You gonna stop me from saying the sponsor?
Yep.
Shout out to Peace of Mind Protection. Make sure you check them out for all your peace of mind protection needs. And yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and even on IG under just say fucking God bless it. That was a mouthful.